Well, with nearly 15 million Americans unemployed, people with jobs know that they're really lucky just to have work. But in this tough economy, being employed doesn't necessarily mean satisfaction professionally. One survey found that just 45% of people are satisfied in their job these days. That's the lowest number in 2 decades. And we met one woman who works in retail and is very dissatisfied. A sign of the times, she asked not to use her name or show her face for fear of losing her job.
I leave there drained physically, mentally.
This 47-year-old mother has asked us not to reveal her identity because, like so many in this economy, she feels trapped in a job by necessity. That feeling of being overqualified and underemployed.
I was hired as a part-time employee, but I'm actually working full-time hours. But of course, I'm not getting the full-time benefits. It's a retail position, and that's not what I want to pursue, but there isn't a whole lot of what I want to do out there right now.
Though she continues to hunt for other work online and through her network of family and friends, jobs are scarce.
It's heartbreaking. You're trapped. You're trapped in a job that you either don't like, can't pay the bills, don't even come close to paying the bills, and there's just no way out.
So for now, she's working hard and keeping perspective.
I just try to take the focus off of myself, volunteer and do other things where I'm not looking so much at my situation, because there's others that are out there that are much worse than I am.
You know, in better times, the remedy would be quit, get a job you like. But if that's not possible right now, what can you really do to enhance your life day to day? Our workplace contributor, Tori Johnson, is here with some tips. Good to see you.
Thank you.
So there are things short of the Hail Mary quitting
that's right.
you can do.
And I think that's important, because typically we think of what's the biggest thing we can do, and that is get another job. But on a day-to-day basis, think instead about the smallest things that you can do, things especially that are within your control. So the first is, can you work on improving your relationship with your boss? For a lot of people, it's possible if you work at it, if you think about it. Ask for new projects or new tasks or different tasks, or volunteer for those new tasks and new projects that you might want to work on. Sometimes for some people, frankly, it's you got to stop complaining, and it's very easy to get into that venting every 10 minutes with your colleagues about how bad things are, and it just makes you feel worse. It just brings it down. And then do one thing, just one thing, as Sam would say, every single day toward getting a new job, because oftentimes when you take those proactive steps, it's going to help you feel a lot better because you're working toward a solution.
Yeah, you're digging your escape tunnel on the side a little bit there. And if you're not finding fulfillment at work, if that's just impossible, what do you do?
So it's true, right? In the best case scenario, we'd all be super happy at work. If that's not happening, suck it up at work, frankly, and find that happiness and contentment and joy outside of work through a distraction or a diversion. And it could be because you take a class, take a course. It could be something, you know, gardening for personal fun, or maybe it's a language or a professional class. You could volunteer, because for many people, serving people who are less fortunate winds up helping them feel better about themselves. Think about even perhaps taking up a hobby. There's one woman who I talked to who said she's really interested in learning how to cook, so when she's miserable at work, frankly, she dreams about that recipe she's going to make that very night. Or for some people, it's about starting a side business. There's something that you've always loved. You don't have to think about starting the next Google. It doesn't have to be a gigantic operation, but maybe it's something small that you do. It could be dog walking on the side that's bringing you a few extra bucks. It could be selling crafts that you make on Etsy. Think small, because often it's those small things that could lead to bigger, better feelings.
And it also helps to take the long view, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Knowing that this isn't forever.
And I think this is really important. To borrow a phrase from Madeleine Albright, there is a special place in hell for the managers who treat their workers really poorly right now, because they know that those people, or they believe that those people, don't have any other options. And the reality is things will turn around, and when they do, all of those great people will find other jobs.
All right. Really appreciate it. I think you probably boosted some spirits this morning.
I hope so.
And you can get much more of Tori's great tips on our website, abcnews.com.